Yo. Nootropic regimens and mushrooms in the capsules. A potion meant to sip in herbage in the satchel. The dopest penmanship assembled with a sample of coping mechanisms totally free of all the hassles. Leading by example and feeding the imagination. Calibrating mind and matter with the fascination. Conversion of the basket case of old procrastination. Waiting on the other end of this, congratulations. See, once you're done feeling good about accomplishments you've made, it's time to sit down and create. It's time to take an honest look at how we hold this space. It's time to start to use this thing between our shoulder blades, I mean our brain. You could say we're all the same, but I really like to think that this cerebrum can be trained now. I've seen, heard, and felt some shit in ways I can't erase. Recently agreed to take the zenith to the grave and innovate, y'all. Just innovate, everybody innovate. 2020 innovate, everybody innovate, y'all. Just innovate, y'all. Just innovate, y'all. Just innovate. Take the job, graduate from standard ops, calculate recursive space dynamics of the Mandelbrot, set intention and the panacea like a random dot that gives life and guards the water like the anaconda hiss. Onomatopoeias got me huff and puff. Prima donnas meet up in the middle with the gutter punks. We've seen a lot of medium, we're ready for some tougher stuff. Take a run around the world, make it one and done. Radical departure from the cardboard carnival. Tyrannical delusions, got apartments growing barnacles while particles accelerate with light in the magnetic field. Set it and forget it till you read it with pathetic zeal. Cue the credit reel, the medicine to let us heal. Competitive to better learn, conjecture as some credit appeal. Theoretically, it's all kinetic and the legend's real. Stay connected to the message if it helps you innovate, y'all. Just innovate, everybody innovate. 2020 innovate, everybody innovate, y'all. Just innovate, y'all. Just innovate, y'all. Just innovate, everybody innovate. 2020 innovate, everybody innovate. 2020 innovate, everybody innovate, y'all. Just innovate, y'all. Just innovate. Just innovate. Got my good homie Kyle Neidig joining me up here, playing the E-Wee. We got a bunch of fun tracks planned for you guys tonight. Big thanks to PDX Couch Stewart putting this all together for everyone who's joining us. There's never better times than now. Keep on trying to find that wow. Singing from the mountaintops loud, 'cause they never gonna steal our sound. And there's never better times than now. Keep on trying to find that wow. Singing from the mountaintops loud, 'cause they never gonna steal our sound. Never gonna steal it, 'cause my instrument is vocal cords. And even if the grid went down, my music wouldn't close the door. Could've chose a different sound, but knew this one would open more minds into thinking and creating our own folklore. Gotta grow more in line with the common man. Too many lives serving time for that contraband. You could try to break us down, but yo, we got a plan. So once they took my drum, I started banging pots and pans. Can't nobody take the sound unless they take my life. And maybe if you come around, you'll stumble on the same advice. Somehow these words seem to make it right. Vocabulary is apparently the way to fight. I started writing soon as I could hold pens. Made friends with the page, initiated on the quest. I made amends with the laziness, I won't fuck up again. Extended out the radius, the craziness depends. A maniac amended with that brainiac convention. Spending rainy days stressing about a past life regression. Then you realize that you're living in the present and sitting in the presence of a brilliant connection. A million dimensions of auxiliary concessions, building up collections that are really some obsession. Now I'm mentioning these words, so I'm trying to turn the frowns upside down. Be the clown who's entertaining town to town, 'cause there's never better times than now. Keep on trying to find that wow. Singing from the mountaintops loud, 'cause they never gonna steal our sound. And there's never better times than now. Keep on trying to find that wow. Singing from the mountaintops loud, 'cause they never gonna steal our sound. Yo, 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 they never gonna steal our sound. Never never gonna steal our sound. Psychedelic rap keeps me in my element. Try to bring it audible with clarity and eloquence. I keep it cryptic but articulate intelligence with inspiration melting off the mic, so delicate. Embrace the shade of melanin, create a little feeling in the room that's now an elephant. See, I've been telling them the new is in the rap, rooted on the track to put my crew up on the map. Pursuing and amassing with a movement and a passion. Lazy Susan got dramatic, evolution everlasting. Now it's cruising through the bracket, past the losers and the bastards and the fools who never ask. We've eluded all the racket, fluid in the natch, not assuming how to act. Another ruse up in the hat, I'm kinda suited for the task. Now the bruise is blue and black from all the booster shots to prove we're not a student of the craft. Let's we prove it through the math. Flew through the bougie, now the badass is back with a fat acid tab that's gonna fast track vernacular. Backpack spectacular with tactical capacitors and magical compatibility to handle massacres. Barely had a curse to manicure the lasting verse. Baffle words, subtract the fury, curious the facts are blurred. Scary as the worst cemetery on the earth, but I'm barely underserved cause this barely feels like work. Precariously personal and married to the vertigo. In areas the curtains close with various diverted souls. This is not a circus show inverted as the hurdle goes. Perfectly immersed in the subversion of averted thrones. Since the birth of this art form, every style slams a finger in the car door. Another branch from the tree that learned the art of war. And every artist is a martyr till we sharpen swords. Delusions are the truest curse. Every artist is a martyr till we sharpen swords. Delusions are the truest curse. Every artist is a martyr till we sharpen swords. Shout out to that fucking Ivan. Shout out to Kyle Neidig, Kyle's Crafts, rocking it with me on the Iwi. We got a lot of other great artists playing tonight. We got Rob the Universe coming up. Adam Cedar's gonna be up here on stage with me in a couple of minutes. Got a set from Water and then a Rhymewave to finish it out. So you guys got a great night of hip hop ahead of y'all. Hope you can stay for the whole thing. Track I just put out about a month ago, Polish Ambassador on the beats. Whoa. A portion of your donations tonight will be going to the Black Resilience Fund, supporting our community here in Portland. Hip hop's all about community. Space and mysticism merge. Cynicism learns as the symbolism burns. Sticking with a synchronistic version of the words and picking up right after all the lines have gotten blurred. Sticking with assurance that some circuits will emerge. Spark collective currents and immerse us in the optimal. Ever-flowing waves, growth expanding to the verge. Basically occurring and amazing of what's possible. Rhyme waving CPA up in the chronicles. Blue blocking hip-hop for new school consciousness. Mind states elevate up over obstacles and dance to the aftershock of toppling the obelisk. An odd phenomenon that's probably not on the list. Now evolving in directions we could not predict. Live sonic vibes steady thrive within the mix. Mythologic rhymes to redefine how we exist. Redefine how we exist. Mythologic rhymes to redefine how we exist. Blue blocking hip-hop for new school consciousness. Let's redefine how we exist. Let's redefine how we exist. Blue blocking hip-hop for new school consciousness. This next one's a brand new one. Not too many people have heard. So quick to follow when connection's been deprived. Both thick and hollow in the way it's been contrived. The message in the bottle never turned up in the tide. From sedative to throttle, now the purpose is alive. But so is the divide. It's left us blindsided, final straws drawn kinda like it's by design. It's kinda like the system wants us all to comply with a prehistoric vision where you've gotta pick a side. Well, how about yours is mine? How about mine is yours? How about we collaborate and help each other find the source? How about we imagine fate as some attraction in the force that brought the two of us together in a time that's so important? Sort out the inordinary circumstance at hand, pooling our collective resources and hashing out a plan. Standing up one time against the man, make demands, face the fact that this is whack and maybe never should have happened. Unnecessary clashes from races to classes. We're facing these fascists with patience and practice, erasing these patterns with improvised tactics, crafting new axes for bad reenactments. We're pushing back fast, big waves about to crash to the coast of institutions that were due from the get-go. We're due for something tectonic, shift in a presto. I'll call it retribution and a way to fucking let go. I'll call it revolution and I'll sign it with an XO. All an evolution type of fusion in the echoes. Tie-dye soaking up the toxic innuendos. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. I'll call it revolution and I'll sign it with an XO. Evolution type of fusion in the echoes. Tie-dye soaking up the toxic innuendos. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. It's so obvious our culture's being programmed. Pick your poison in this post-apocalyptic romance. Bonus logic co-conspired with both hands red. Now it's so demonic and we've got no chance left. Slow champs prepped as we co-create community. Grow the planet's unity and motivate it beautifully. Incorporated mutiny. We're going to expose these Luciferian agendas that have caught us in the throes. But most days, I don't even know what I believe in. I've been searching for the truth, but everything is so deceiving. And increasingly I'm meeting in the middle with agreements. An emerging intersection for the zealots and the heathens. And I believe that we can sort it out peacefully. Fortitude to set us free and order through decency. New moods from new moon silhouettes of ETs, teaching us through Ouija boards and murdering our TVs. And certainly this PC prerogative is vain. The illusion of accomplishing a lot within this game. But purpose breeds a complicated option in the range. And ignorance is bliss until it's got you by the chains. So break free from make-believe progress. It's nonsense. It's say cheese for 88 keywords and bomb threads. Gradients of majorly adulterated contents. Topically applied to drop dead with a God bless. I'll call it revolution and I'll sign it with an XO. All an evolution type of fusion in the echoes. Tie-dye soaking up the toxic innuendos. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. I'll call it revolution and I'll sign it with an XO. All an evolution type of fusion in the echoes. Tie-dye soaking up the toxic innuendos. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. Hive mind unified, Akashic manifesto. I'd like to introduce Mr. Adam Cedar. He's going to be joining me for a few songs, doing a few of his own. Making a flute, then I play him a spell. Harvest the juice of a dolphin. Hopped in the tank, then I'm ringing the bell. Making use of this coffin. These mummified mushrooms are starting to smell. Acting like I am exhausted, but actually I am still managing well. So visit the delicatessen. This selection is what I'm impressed with. And don't get it twisted or miss what I mentioned. Skipping addiction with this intervention. Ripping a hole in dimensions. Ingestion of what is endogenous. Pot that I'm cooking with simple ingredients. Stretching back to Romulus. Acting like these observations made are just a part of it. Only see a sliver in the vision of the architect. The forest fetched. I'm marking bets. Departed west to carve the best. The artist test is started dead. Take them all back to the part where we met. Take it all back, then I carve it and let it's a particle thread of the carnival darn. The article read that we started a trend and the whole front end started raising the bar. Playing the guitar like I'm staying on Mars. Made of that stardust and tasting the shards of the Martian. Carcinogens keep barfing in the bardo with darkness alarming. Now pass that torch so far. Sorted the parts of the fork in the row, and abandoned the pose who abhor what I wrote. The source of the code goes the world with the soul. A morsel of the morning aftermath will leave him feeling whole. So cordially arranged to take the polygraph's defeating blow. A beating heart that started charging toward another goal. Let's redirect this mothership. We've got this and it fucking shows. Stop, drop, and roll. Pocket full of shots at impossible. Archetype rider with a comic strip. Bill miss on the tip of the tongue. Let's go. Stop, drop, and roll. Pocket full of shots at impossible. Archetype rider with a comic strip. Bill miss on the tip of the tongue. Let's go. 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 Starting to sip from a give it a swirl till it's mother of pearl. Adding a tune I was born with. Thicken it up with the dust of the world. I'm taking a taste and I'm barking. Baring my teeth and I'm ready to go. More of a sense than a target. Keeping my nose to the scent of a soul. I'm paying a toll for the seance's glow. Talking with ghosts, leaving shade on these scrolls. Making some holes to the places I know. Taking a stone from the grave that I own. Making my home in the greatest of groves. Listening close to the cadence of oaks. Weaving a bone from the way that they grown. Trade the weight of this gold for a day on my own. Dangers we know grow, the dangers we don't. Fame angels aflame with the angels white glow. And breaking the caves, we're locking the door. This talking's the door with the crosses we born. Rocking the boat like a dock in the storm. Shocking the board like a socket and fork. Boss man restored, deciding's your chore. Provided surviving the coldest of wars. Demystify the mystic light. Couple misfits and the gift of sight. To flip scripts like a mirror mic. From the cryptic to the searing light. From the crickets to the cryptids. Cry from the viscous to the crystalline. From inconsistent to a 15-line theory systems. To the asinine. Meant for the best of the best of my heart. Tapping the stashes of rashes that are. Fragments of crashes falling like stars. Not stalling, we're hauling them into the dark. Stalwartly down dusty roads. Following our compass roads away from these hollow kings. Cargo we carry, demonic and divine airways. Under our tongues, buried alive with lungs and minds merry. Stop, drop, and roll. Pocket full of shots at impossible. Archetype rider with a comic strip. Bill missing the tip of the tongue. Let's go. Stop, drop, and roll. Pocket full of shots at impossible. Archetype rider with a comic strip. Bill missing the tip of the tongue. Let's go. 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 One time for Adam Cedar. Adam, you want to tell these guys what you told me today?
Yeah, I'd like to say happy birthday to hip-hop. It's August 11th, so in the Bronx, in 1973, DJ Kool Herc threw a party that is often considered the birthplace of hip-hop. So, shout out to everyone who started the art form, to all the legends, many of who are still alive, and just the highest respect.
And we did not know that when we booked the show, so that's just a beautiful synchronicity right there.
So it's called TVIPIV. Beating in my chest, faulty wiring inside my head that needs to be reset. At night I dream my dreams are strange, bright, fantastic, and complex. When I wake my dreams are ashes, I exhale with every breath. This may seem downright depressing, but the lesson isn't this. No lesson is expressed except that there's no lie made to impress. Some later get a check, get on stage or get some press. It's interesting how all our wants and fears connect within a mesh. Obsessive and possessed with all the things that I've been hunting, all the dreams I never lived. I guess I didn't learn from Lucy. Live a life with no regrets. By the time I think that I progress, I seem to defense. I'm losing the mess. When we easily regress, that's how I realize life's not a path that we must trek, but a dance that we're all dancing where we improvise the steps. There's a bigger me in the field outside, okay? One I can't see when I don't feel okay. Life's coming at me with the force of a tidal wave. Right now, bite down, doesn't matter the time of day. There's a pattern in my head that tries to make me feel downtrodden. Plus no news is good news and the news anchors just won't stop talking. I try to know what's going on and so I just keep watching. The signal has been failing, the noise shows no sign of stopping. Senses lost inside the chattering, people running out of batteries, wondering how bad it is, blaming political candidates. System is corrupt as fuck, but it's us who comprise society. Watches Humpty cheaters on live TV. That's a house of cards and a gale force wind. Watch them scatter. Card Tower Empire watches Humpty Dumpty shatters. The termites might just bite this timber to tatters. Lights blind these eyes, these highs aren't quite as advertised. Adverse side effects as long as I got text, my tech, IV drip, I'll be set. Wires my tourniquet, now turn me inside out, shut me inside the internet. The pixels lit, now picture this. It's a house of cards and a gale force wind, watch them scatter. Card Tower Empire watches Humpty Dumpty shatters. Now termites might just bite this timber to tatters. Lights blind these eyes, these highs aren't quite as advertised. There's a bigger me in the field outside, okay? One I can't see when I don't feel okay. Life coming at me with the force of a tidal wave. Right now, bite down, doesn't matter the time of day. This next one is called Poet, Saints, and Vandals. Shout out to Paul Kang, who produced all the tracks I'm performing solo tonight. Yes, that goes for sisters too. Better not to beat that drum of violence when lifted by its vicious booms. Don't get it confused. It's a sermon, not a mission statement. If this were famous, people would be dissecting it for payment. Objective, obtuse, not just entertainment. Step into my office, sit, I'm about to make it obvious you're brilliant. You ignoramus, it just takes some diligence, some patience. No one who makes millions just waits up, but this really isn't about a pay stub. No, it is not. My name is Adam Cedar, better rapper than I am a speaker. It's my voice as phantoms beats are booming out your speakers. Our souls screech like wax floors do beneath your sneakers. Freak your EQs, let your feet do what feet do. Like Kasparov versus Deep Thought or Deep Blue. This is a 42 for those of you who seek truth. In chess moves, ink blots, and novel plots. I feel you, distraught. Ever searching for an answer? Ever spurred on by a question? Ever stuck inside an idea? This one and then the next one, never ever ever after. Ever changing, never static. Life dreamed up God inside an attic. Avoid darker than the blackest magic. All mythology was born as a cipher for this action. Monolith or monomyth, the obscure if not clear made obvious. Is all of this an odyssey or just an oddity that I exist? Do I need a psychiatrist or is that just the light that sits burning on my tongue like an onion? Wishing I could cry by my own volition. Oh, to be young again. A shadow looms inside my vision. My animosity isn't Jungian and I'm not partial to prophecy. Life happens now. Hold somebody's hand. If you're feeling me, this is easily as beautiful as we can be. We're not asking, just dancing, dancing, dancing past the monsters in the labyrinth, laughing. See, we here to make the best of this. We drink in life till there's nothing left of it, passion. We're not asking, just dancing, dancing, dancing past the monsters in the labyrinth, laughing. See, we here to make the best of it. We drink in life. Clan of rabbit animals, poets, saints, and vandals, all we rise and we fall. Dance steps in the bandits ball. Damn it all and bless it too. Blessed be the one who's you. Damage control. Let's get glue. A life with holes is share problems. Hang-ups in closets full of skeletons. Fuck it and to hell with it, we got this. Heaven sent the hell we live, it makes you stronger. Take dawn as your sword, living flesh as your armor. Your calluses, it's a wonder to stand on your feet like Alice did. Now you understand, truth is a rubber band. Stretch it too far and you break it. It can't cover you when naked, but it's still the shape you make it. Backwards, I'll talk but can't back your words. Attack with words like everything's a competition. Every swing's not made for hitting. Kids know this, how we forget it. I believe in kings as far as I can move them. My conclusions, not illusions. Read if you're both illusions. Million people fucking stupid, jerking around with a puppet's movement. Sick of a sound with nothing to it. A rerun of a rerun of a rerun makes me so fucking bored. Season after season gets so ripping. You can hear me snore. We can't outrun our shadows. We're in deep but acting shallow. War and peace of frames of mind. Breathing deep is half the battle. People beef and act like cattle. Don't see fangs, just hear the rattle. Passion, we're not asking, just dancing, dancing, dancing past the monsters in the labyrinth, laughing. See, we're here to make the best of this. We drink in life till there's nothing left of it. Passion, we're not asking, just dancing, dancing, dancing past the monsters in the labyrinth, laughing. You see, we're here to make the most of this. We drink in life.
This one's called Tips and Tricks. Hey yo, I'm not here to bullshit, I'm here to set them straight. I got some motivation other than just getting paid. I've got the boldest ways to show them how to innovate. You wanna see me manifest it, man, let's set a date. And I'm predicated on the fact I'm staying elevated. And I made it back the minute I engaged. Invented my own way, setting my own pace. Forgetting my own face so I can bet on my own race. I'm getting my own taste of what I've always wanted all along. I'm getting my own place so I can grow some chronic on the lawn. I'm shedding my own skin so I can try to reinvent myself. I'm dealing with my shit so I don't have to go and get some help. And I'm not here to hate on how you're living. I'm just here to give some tips and tricks, man. I'm not here to hate on how you're living. I'm just here to give some tips and tricks.
Don't have a whole lot of tips, but it takes a whole lot of grit. Let's play in lottery. More watering of oddity, less posturing. More following that farthest dream. That's what it costs to breathe. Concerted effort, a lot of these throats closed from the chokehold of withheld artistry. Fast and plain, a calling by any other name. May smell of cash and fame. Those are siren songs, keep blasting the mast and wait. When the still hours lacerate, burn the mask, fuck the masquerade. We have a task to save ourselves from being casualties of average days. Hold that space till your avarice passes away. Each moment is a vast estate. Stop living like a castaway. Focus on the work, don't worry about the accolades. If you're an artist, an actor, or do macrame, mix one hell of a daiquiri. Don't listen to what the masses say. Don't let your parents, your crew, or your cat dissuade you. Stay true to work, be brave. We're not here to hate on how you're living. We're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living. We're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living. We're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living. We're just here to give some tips and tricks. So dip inside another realm that you can hide within the mind's conventions, blinded by the visions of Leviathan. Design potential outlook based on something that's arriving in a neat little package that'll make us feel alive again. And tell me this, are you unknowing messenger who blessed us with the expectations of our own competitors? Our better halves are playing with this feeling in the metaverse. Better ask permission before they tell us we're on red alert. The extrovert devolved into a lone wolf wandering beneath the depths of what it meant to never reach the top. Zen arrangement
Arrangements only wasted time for those who watch the clock. Your feng shui is outdated, sir. Let's rearrange these blocks so I can see the gaze at top. They're complaining on the bottom, I can stop them, but it's way more fun to give them all the options. The problem is we've got it in the opposite. Composure, blotter paper help connect myself with my emotions. I'm not here to hate on how you're living, I'm just here to give some tips and tricks, man. I'm not here to hate on how you're living, I'm just here to give some tips and tricks. I'm not here to hate on how you're living, I'm just here to give some tips and tricks. I'm not here to hate on how you're living, I'm just here to give some tips and tricks. What up, Mom? Come out to show him out, drive around the shorter route. The growing up is over, I'm a stoner with a motor mouth.
Own up to corrosive doubts, cobra spitting Folgers mouth. The mainstream's entertaining, but the underground's what molds the style.
Is this a game that I've been playing on myself? I pierce the veil, but don't have anyone to tell.
There is a story that I tell when I'm alone. The protagonist, a frightened child afraid to leave their home.
I traded sodas and the beers for kombuchas and LaCroix. I'm looking older in the mirror, but still accumulating toys.
My neighbors think I'm weird like Dr. Seuss, but unemployed. Golden years will be driving Babbitts over captions on Old Boys.
Grab the reins and get a grip on indecision. In the thick of this condition, let's uncover what's been hidden.
Torpedo competition, fit in where instinct meets ambition. An ambassador of love, just please don't step in front of our mission.
We're not here to hate on how you're living, we're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living, we're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living, we're just here to give some tips and tricks. We're not here to hate on how you're living, we're just here to give some tips and tricks.
We're also here to take some tips. You shall see the links on the bottom of the screen. And once again, we are donating a portion of that. Please be generous if you can.
The sun, man child with silver spoon with an acidic tongue. Bad case of the Mondays, no cold cup, forgot to pack a lunch. So reopen the cold case, hungry and out for blood. Who took the final breath of passion out the masses' lungs? Told them they're better off with a pacifier, willing to pass it up than in the battle mixed with boiling tar, defending what they love and battled on the savage ground. To be indifferent, shrug, here's the rub. I roll with several different brands of gifted different. Starry-eyed or glassy-eyed, it's hard to know the simple difference. It's a piss up when a given action takes on a holding pattern. What was dull and nearly rabid becomes dull and holy standard. The coldest souls imagine to test passion since they lack them. Borrow whites and suits and ties, assemble taxes for the simulacrum. Ugly work but it pays handsome. Behold the holy gold abandoned, sold for adverts. On the corroded road to fandom,
Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. Grabbed his pipe, began to play it. In the end, that's what Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. Grabbed his pipe, began to play it. In the end, that's what Peter Piper picked. So find your calling and figure out what helps the brain create, what gets us motivated, wakes us up on lazy days. Used to think the proper methodology's debating fate. Find the source of why we're falling, now you found a saving grace. Now I found the consequence of action is potential self. Passenger that travels with and holds us through the coldest spells. The trauma fortified my mind and that's the mental health. Growing up ain't easy, man, don't mean that we're not growing well. I hold this potion as a loaded question, ripping through devotion, more regression, less. Let's manifest some living proof. Not trying to go to war today. I got a missing shoe I need to find before the fortress crumbles while we're sipping brews. So live it up, cause everyone's a sitting duck. And if you isn't shitting bricks, maybe you haven't lived enough. So fill the cup, take it to the village bluffs. Engaging with creation, found another way to feel the rush. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. Grabbed his mic, began to play it. And in the end, that's what Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. He grabbed his pipe, began to play it. In the end, that's what Peter Piper picks.
Big shout out to everyone watching, giving us some comments. We see you guys. It's making it so much more fun. Thank you all.
Thanks for tuning in.
Pepper lets you know when it's right for the picking. Working in the field is a good time for thinking. Orchestrating dreams within repetitive clock punches. It's about to be my lunch break. I think I'll go make a
sock puppet didn't cut it. I feel like a block spigot. Need more than the soil that I'm digging into. Dig it. If it's written and scripted, I wonder who wrote it. If I'm not playing the pipe, the story is outmoded.
See, the dreams let you know when it's time to go and get it. And you can't really get that shit unless you're down to live it. The limitlessness is outside the gimmick shit. Let the synergistic trickle down into the mix.
You thought it's not that my job is born a blue collar, but I can't ignore the burning of my true calling. Then Peter in a piece of live theater grabbed his stuff and boogied. If he didn't choose the pipe, he wouldn't be Peter Piper, would he? Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. Grabbed his pipe, began to play it. And in the end, that's what Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, elected to let those peppers sit. Grabbed his pipe, began to play it. And in the end, that's what Peter Piper picked.
Normally we would throw peppers at you, but I didn't think it'd be nice to throw peppers at the camera. Big shout out to PDX Couch Tour. These guys are fucking amazing. I wish you could see what they're doing here on this end of things. It's pretty spectacular. They've got a crew with lights, multiple camera angles. As you see, this is some pro shit. So thank y'all for joining us for this this experiment that is going very successfully.
Grind is growing trees, time invested locally. Knowing I can hold the peace of minds if I can sow the seed. Shine into a grove of green, the light is coming over me. Discuss it openly, I mostly like to grow OGs. Hold this rosary of trees I got from overseas. You know the breed, you know the ones who sowed the peas. I know defining moments I was sold a dream. Never thought that I'd be growing when I started smoking weed. It's elating in communion with an herb who I've been raving about the work and putting fingers in the dirt. Steady bathing in these terps, always vacation on this turf. Take a taste for what it's worth and find your place upon this earth. Find your strange, show it love, give it nutrients. Check for bugs, play some music. Let the sun provide a light from up above. You don't rush the flush or be a wet trim amateur. Hang until the stem cracks. Now it's time to manicure. Now it's time to gravitate towards cultivate, regenerate. Venerate it for the benefits and what she medicates. Helps you sleep as pain relief and you won't get complacent. There's mood stimulation and creative inspiration. It's okay to take a break, regain appreciation. She'll be there when you're ready, always at the next station. Maybe Mary's not your cup of tea, but that's alright, cause she's never killed a person in her life. So let the jive ease the mind, I will not take it out of sight. So here we grow, trying to fight the good fight. Now it's turned into a cash crop overnight. So here we grow, yo. How could it be wrong if it feels so right? Here we grow, trying to fight the good fight. Helping all these flowers thrive so they're better to ignite. Here we grow, yo. I was living in Colorado when we ended prohibition. Back in 2012, I had a shift and started trimming. A couple months later, got promoted from the kitchen. It felt like a revival of a long lost tradition. The first gig was dope, we had incredible genetics. I ran the veg, cut the clones, and kept the mothers fresh. And for the first time, work collided with some pride and love. In the next year, we won the cannabis cup. I got fired for buying Molly in a flower room. I started trimming for this other spot the next day at noon. Only 2 years in and I was completely consumed. Proud of what I do as I'm howling at the moon. Yo, I'm about it, and I'm cruising toward a new set of skills. Feeling things I didn't think that I could ever feel. In these days, we're still growing tough in the garden, cause there's something symbiotic that we harvest. So let the jive ease the mind, I will not take it out of sight. Here we grow, trying to fight the good fight. Here we grow, trying to fight the good fight. How could it be wrong if it feels so right? Here we grow, trying to fight the good fight. Helping all these flowers thrive so they're better to ignite. Here we grow, 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 here we grow.
That song was about cannabis, and this song is about roses. That's Kyle's lovely flute that you hear there on the beat. Decided to leave it in. Most of the songs I've been playing are unreleased, but you can find this one online. Change the heart, look around, make the mark a good amount. We can start with pseudonyms to see if we can play the part. I felt a hooligan, but did it with amazing spark. Zooming in, knew for days it was a false alarm. Felt the shaded seat upon the magic carpet ride. I never knew that bravery could be so fucking hard to find. And it's insane how we've degraded what's a part of us. Departing with the marshes, we're about to turn the stars to dust. We're about to make it hard enough, but still accessible to anyone who wanders up. Started in the heart with love, then evolved into the point where we could ponder stuff. Just sign them up, just line them up, just ride the cusp and light it up like dynamite. I just rhyme this stuff, develop kinds of trust that seem to find us in the middle of the darkest night. You're in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath and just reflect, find a peace of mind. You're in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath, just reflect, find a peace of mind. We're in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath and just reflect, find a peace of mind. We're in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath and just reflect. I'm trying to find the light, I'm trying to hit the mark. I'm trying to find the mic to go and rip this shit apart. I'm trying to grab a bite to eat and chill out in the park. I'm trying to get some decent sleep before I swim with sharks. I'm here to make some fair complaints, I mean I gotta fix. I'm here to be aware today and make the best of this. I'm here to try to learn from every single shot I miss. I'm here to keep on climbing till I hit the precipice. I've got the recipe to be the best MC. I got the pedigree and all the best connections, see. I've got the remedies to level out the energy. I've got incredibly familiar with my enemies. I've got some vices that I cannot get away from yet. I paid the price for every single time I've made a mess, and I've reaped the benefits for every single risk I take. In this life I know I must embrace the present state. So in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath and just reflect, find a peace of mind. We're in the middle of the steepest climb, had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. Yo, we had to take a breath and just reflect. We're gonna bring Cedar back for another couple to finish us out. Thank you once again, PDX Couch Tour in 24 Fremont, for making this happen. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Hopefully this is not the last live stream, but hopefully it is, in the sense that we can do actual shows. All right, that's all I'm saying.
On a day like today, not sure, but I have a lot to say. From the moment I woke up, an alarm was going off in my brain. My relationship to art is strange, twisted and strained. It means so much to me. What if I'm never good enough? What if I'm trying too hard and this is supposed to be easy? Okay. What if it's supposed to be easy, but it's not? What if you fall off and explore every single thought? What if you were trying to raise up but end up with rocks? Kicking in your shoes and tying your tongue in knots. Fraught with the danger, since I was in the manger. I mean, since I was in the crib, spitting up on my baby bib. And it's exactly what it is, and it couldn't be anything else. That's why I'm reaching out to my friends, and I'm asking them for help. That's why I'm shouting out the greats. What up, Cool Herc? Yeah, I'm trying to do my best and I'm putting in the work. I'm feeling like a jerk, but I still end up with a smirk. It's all exactly how you make it, and it's everything it's worth. Okay, this next one is called Up and Up. Shout out again to Paul King, my producer, and everyone else that was involved with my EP. Lights out, thoughts projecting, sights now, drawn a retina. Yeah. Lights out, thoughts projecting, sights now, drawn on retina. Song of setting, sun dyes clouds, impossible colors in bright shrouds. Film developed in dark rooms, eyes shut, mind becomes light source. Stillness envelops as art blooms, balloons fill, endless expansive, windblown, weightless dancers, shapes of aimless grandeur, play polka dot on the sky's dress. Prove that highlighters fly best, smiles of bridges that swing low, provided so villagers reach home. Height reveals what we know, the rise is relative to deep lows. We go up. Gazing inward, encountered lush scenery. In days of winter, found greenery. Gardens of old wounds in full bloom. Heart is a seed, hard as can be. Broken open so growth can begin. Tribulations given patience till fertile soil so peace takes root. Bears fruits of beats paid dues. Inner seasons an endless cycle. Inner demons put men on trial. Crystal clear and razor sharp, then disappear and fade to dark. Leaks levee spring, yes, seek steady streams. Everything is everything, no constraints holding you. We contain multitudes of up. A peak of ash warmed by the sun, feet that climb and light that runs. Dream has ended, stay awake. Night will build what day will break. Fractals of an opening, staying shut, such a hopeless thing. Face the music, feed the muse. Fate is easily amused. The moon is silver, full and good. The tune is wind through rock and wood. Patterns appear that run through space. Restless is the one who waits. Breathless as the plunge we take are those who swim beneath the waves. But we who move by hoof and foot dream of wings to take us up. If we could only rise above this leaden heart and gut that plummets, but gravity is merciless. Fight it, you'll be the first to quit. So we learn to plant, build and grow. We learn to harvest, till and sow, and sing to make our spirits rise through lowest lows and highest highs, and prove that we have an enterprise as endless as our inner skies. Not fenced in by circumstance, we overcome through art and dance. Gateways found in solitude, the strength to be and follow through, the wisdom needed to hold our own. And when the time comes, let it go up. Skin prickles, eyes dilate. Space becomes an ear and you're the hearing. The world is I and you the seer. The you thought was you disappears, releasing like one great sigh, punctuated by a greater silence. Thank you.
This is not the end of the show. Please stick around. You're going to have a new link if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube or Twitch. If you're in Zoom, you can stay in this call. But look for a new link for Rob the Universe coming up next. After that, we'll have Water Eye, also a new link, and our freestyle cipher with the line waivers to close it out. So make sure to continue watching if you've got the time. And please stick with us, and thank you all so much for the Rhymewave, Adam Cedar, and Kyle Neidig set.
Thanks
Love
for
you
tuning
guys.
in.